Hello, hello. Hopefully I'm live. Let's see. I got all volumes on, all speakers. That's good. Do I, though? Always good to double check to see. Yeah, look at that. I think I got volume here. How do you like that? Let's go ahead and put our comments section up. Don't mind me. Always itching my nose because my mustache wants to tickle me. When you get older, your mustache and your nose hair meet in the middle. Okay, let's show our chat. Always fun. Yeah, never miss a comment. Right. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to the show. Oh, we got messages coming in. Always good to know. Let's see what that says. Mike, it says Mike. Mike is on. I don't know. Let's see. Can you hear me? Mike is on. Can you hear me? Okay. So what are we going to talk about today? Let's turn on the music because it's right in my ear. I like it to be on just a little bit, you know? See who else is contacting me. We got our artist contacting me. Oh, so the artist is asking me about the limbs. So sorry, I'm talking to the artist making our suye. I don't want to show it to you. That's funny. He contacted me right now. So yeah, you know, I took my own funds and got a artist to do the Tridactyl larva predation. If you guys haven't seen that yet, that's pretty cool. But I did want to just continue on with really, I feel like it's got to be like a weekly thing to go over certain things. I don't always have to talk about myself. But speaking of myself, how about our store? So definitely check out our store. I keep putting up new swag every week so you can enjoy the products. And again, I got the music too high. It's probably not too bad for you guys, but in my ear, it can be a little too much. So we're on X, of course, and I think we're on TikTok tonight. I hope. That would be great if we were on TikTok. So what do we got for products? We got all sorts of cool stuff. This brand new green alien shirt. There's our Tridactyl predation. Meet the ancestors with 3 of those heart-shaped faces. And if there's something you don't see, let me know. We'll make it for you guys. We made a rocks glass for someone on Twitter, so that was fun. All right, so we've got the scans up tonight because why? Again, I just think this is probably one of the more important things is to really just get people to understand that these are, you know, real creatures with real eggs and real larval forms. I can't help but think that some of the skeptics online are not even real skeptics. Like, you can't help but think that. It sounds so conspiratorial. Like, always, people are saying that some are bots even. Have you heard that? Right? And like someone did an experiment where they engaged with the public on Reddit with bots. So they could just be bots, because I know a lot of them have just, I don't know, just bad attitude. It's really weird. I think a true skeptic would be more curious, but I see a lot of people going into something wanting to prove it wrong. For example, the anonymous paleontological student in the alien bodies group, that individual seems to go into things saying, well, this can't be authentic because there's something wrong with it. And usually when I see like something that doesn't make sense, that propels me. Oh, we got Skywatch signal. Hey, thanks, Skywatch. How's it going today, bud? Sorry, there wasn't I didn't add any extra numbers last week to people to win the game there, but we will do that again tonight. We will be giving away a Tridactyl head. We've got this is my personal one made by Jesse Malero for me. You know, problem with, Jesse would make these very nice, but he's just a very busy person. Same with my tech person. They're very, very busy. See, Reddit is full of bots. Yes, so I don't even know if I should even bother arguing with some of these people. It's a very strange thing. It's very strange. And it's in alien groups too. And people are like, let's see the proof. But they don't ask that of other people's things. Like you can post as many alien puppet heads that you want. You notice how everyone's videos of aliens, it's always just the head? Isn't that great about the Tridactyls? Is that not only do we have below the head to see, but within the body as well. So let's refresh ourselves with the Tridactyl scans. And these are from tridactyls.org. I am good. Yes, Skywatch, good too. Good, good. Yeah. What else is going on? We've got this supposed possible craft headed this way. Imagine that. Imagine if it was a cylinder-shaped craft headed here. That would be really interesting. But we're here to remind ourselves about the eggs. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of these here. So we're going to zoom in. So I just have Louisa up today, keep things less confusing. And let's go ahead and go in there. So you can see right away those little black dots most of the time are eyes. So here we are in the scans. So this one here, when you see a third or fourth dot, that could be, this one here, it's very large. It could be the kappa even, meaning since it's pneumatic, it's forming a dark spot. Could also be the mouth. I think there's a nice view of this, of a tridactyl head from above. Tridactyl larva. Let's pull out a little bit. Yeah, we've got the proof here. It's just that people have gotten so used to being lied to and conspiratorial. I blame, 9/11 and then COVID. It's made everyone completely paranoid, and it's helped divide people, make people, ironically, xenophobic. Now, is that a head right there? That looks like a tridactyl head typically. You guys are like, how? Oh, now note too, see this little white spot there? This is a good thing too to actually point out. So these two black dots, again, that indicates to me likely a head. And that reflecting there is probably their rostrum, or they have a beak-like look. And if you want to look at an artistic version of, I think, our tridactyls, you want to go look at the kappa. Look at that dark spot up there. What's that? Is that one tridactyl already out of the egg? Oh, look, is that same head we were just looking at? So yeah, we're having Suye. I'm having the artist do a Suye. Hard to read. I don't know what that means. So I have to put this on hold. Doing maestro. Sorry, guys. So that's the artist. Let's see. All right, we've got Carl Shine, Tridactyl team. Yeah, guys, since I got your chat up here, what do you think was your big moment when you realized, hey, I think these things have legs? Well, they grow legs after a metamorphosis process. I was looking at that dark shape when the artist contacted me, and you can see even two darker shapes there, which again would be the large eyes. And it's very hard to... People complain about the images, but I mean, now what we could do here also, I could go in and we could measure it, assuming that the measuring is up to, it's up to millimeters, approximately. And then we could highlight it just with a circle too, if we needed to. And we could call that one of our first tridactyl. Hunts of the night. I'm probably looking at some of the same ones over and over again, but also I'm not. I'm seeing brand new ones many times. So we wanted to look at the eggs just to demonstrate. Look at that big dark mass there. What's going on there? What is all of that? That's kind of terrifying. What the hell? I don't know what all that is. That's just the inside of the egg, maybe? I don't know, but those dark spots always are like, wow, what's that too? Is that something swimming upwards this way? Yes, I don't know about that. All right, well, let's look at some more eggs because our goal again today is just to demonstrate, yes, there are larval forms. It's almost like shrimp or eels. In fact, they feed kind of like eels or minnows, and eels is definitely a species that was associated with them. Let's go. We got Sky here. We got Carl Shine. We got Chris Duncan coming in. All right, welcome, junior xenoanthropologists, one and all. Hopefully this will be taught in all high schools one day. So let's zoom in on this egg just again. We want to just see if we can all get on the same page. And this is the one I found earlier this week. I suggest this is and we'll draw on this tonight. Wow, look at that crazy critter here. Let's draw on this and see if we can. I wonder if I can even. Is there a, we change the color? That'd be fun. I guess not. Okay, we won't change the color. So let's see here. Something's going on up this way. I think we're looking at some sort of tail here. Again, looks like we have perhaps the rostrum beak here. This dark part, an eye might even be grabbing something. And it looks like there's another, whoa, that was weird. Oh, that's weird. The whole thing moved. Didn't expect that. So what else? Let's see. This could also be that same one, but look at that. There's, sometimes I wonder if it's one eating another. Is this another one here with an eye, nose, open mouth? Let's make that nose a little bit. Oh, how does that work? That's weird. I see. It's like the pen is picking up the other art. And then up here too, is just some little bugger here coming over the side. I wonder too, I talked about the nubs, all those nubs in history, and you can tell they're I think they're artistically placed. It doesn't look like they have any real purpose. But then what if those nubs are really just stereanthropic themselves? They're just replicas of little tridactyl heads feeding. I mean, one of the coolest ones I found is a tiny tridactyl gnawing on the ear bone of Louisa. And this is Louisa we're looking at today because Louisa is the most intact. Let's see if we can accept this phone call. No, I better not. I have a phone call coming through. Boy, I'm just getting all sorts of things. I got the artist contacting me, telling me he can't do the art the way I wanted to do it. So let's see. And then I got old Fat Jesus calling me. What else? We're done with looking at those particular eggs. Let's go into the body. And let's maybe do this one here. What do you think? Oh, there's that thing. I want to get out of the measurement thing. I don't know how. Great. Okay, so what do we got here? So we've got, this looks like the front of Louisa. So a whole bunch of stuff going on down here. So why we started here is because if they're in the eggs, then obviously they might still be hatching outside of the egg. I don't know if they're supposed to end up in this duct here in the middle, and that doesn't happen for some reason. What's this guy here? Is this little bugger here? Let's circle it. Oh, I think it is. Very strange. Let's see if we can. Boy, you just wish sometimes, like you just wish it would just pop. And you just wish it would be there clear as day for everyone to see, because otherwise we're still like, Ed, do we really know what you're seeing here? Let's see here. What's this say? Oh, it's YouTube Live, yeah. All right, Jared Rosenthal's here. How's it going, bud? All right, we're just looking for more larval forms in the body before we move into the skull one last time. You know I'm coming back. I try to look at this like every other day or so, because I feel like the more you look at it, the more things start to appear. And I hope the same for you guys. I hope you guys could maybe find your own Tridactyl head. It'd be great to get more coverage, right? And I still wonder too if the diatomaceous earth wasn't just to keep pests out, but to keep pests in. Because when they are gnawing through the body, it does seem like they come short. There's might be one right there. See how they have the double black eyes? And then this here is a classic, I'd say this classic sort of furrow that they create. So I wouldn't doubt if that was it. You know, I saw one in this week in Luisa's, in her furcula, in her clavicle. All right, we are coming up to the skull now. Let's see if anything pops out, guys. So sometimes you wonder if the little black dots are just some sort of pneumatic bone also. But you can see it's grayed out. And there we got that same sort of serpentine. Let's go ahead and circle some of these. What the heck, right? And also what I like to do too is measure them, because if we keep looking at these and we say that it's pareidolia, right? Well, then we were going to wonder why all the pareidolia is very similar. Well, this one's kind of big, huh? Maybe the pareidolia is not pareidolia. Let's keep looking into the skull. And you can see like these spaces here. There's another one, very large, making that sort of furrow. You know, furrow, and you see the rostrum is. I'm still talking to the artist. Sorry. I could probably just type. Let's see. Here we got something here. Let's see. Chris has got a thought he wants to add to the party here. Let's check it out. I had a thought. Is it possible, Luis, to assert, meaning could these be implanted as a host mother to develop the embryos? Huh, well, they all have eggs, and they all have eggs in different states. So I could understand why, like, some sort of host. I mean, I was even wondering, guys, if the whole. Oh, God. Oh, this is the worst show ever because I keep talking. I keep talking to this guy. Ugh. Okay, so what I'm pointing out up here, guys, is, and again, I want to keep showing people these because I want people to understand that this is not just one random thing, that this is piece after piece after piece. Okay, so we have, again, dark eyes here. And then we have the reflection of the rostrum, and maybe even that might even be one of the fangs, right? They have two fangs, and you can see that it's made that furrow on its way out near the occipital processes of the back of the skull. In fact, what it does is their head impressions can be seen on the skull. So let's get into the skull. This is probably the best one. All right, so we've got larvae in the body. They're everywhere. We might even see the one in the furcula here. Let's see. Maybe not in this image. I probably saw him in another, but he's right in here. Okay. So you see the ear bones, but you can also start to see other things. For example, So here's like a heart-shaped face here, heart-shaped. So what I'm suggesting is that we can see their faces. This one here might be burrowing into the ear bone. And then over here, I'm not even sure. We've got two eyes, so I don't know. Is that two different larvae? And better look here. So see that? That's actually like, and what's strange about their faces, and again, this is heart-shaped, right? Cordiform, is that their faces are very face-like. So from the side, they look bestial. And of course, if you know certain passages from certain books of mythology, they talk about beings with heads of different animals and different angles. Yeah, we got the fang right here too. Yeah, you saw the fang. And then when I finally said, oh, the larva predation really is a thing, I'm not just seeing crap, is when I saw this fang here. And I was like, oh my God, they have fangs, which makes sense why their mandible, the lower jaw, has this recess. That fang's got to go somewhere. Yeah, let's see. Metal implant or chest suggests to me that it would be a possible way to keep the opening from healing, to be able to pull the embers. Yes. Yeah. I was wondering that too. Is it? Yeah, because maybe Artemis was the one they learned from. So Artemis has all those operations. And I said from the get-go, that's to pull the larva out. And this process might be a problem due to hybridization. So the larvae don't know which freaking way to go. And they're designed to eat flesh. So here we have our Medusa, because her head is just, full of larvae. Let's go around past the fang. Here's the front of her head. Sometimes you can play with the lighting and stuff. You know, someone out there might even be better than this than me. I don't know if they're gonna be better at spotting them. Look at this. Look how weird their faces look, guys. Freaks me out, man. It's like these little benign little nose hanging out. Of course, I realize now too, it's different on my TV screen. Okay. So how do you like that? And if you can't see it again, let me just do a little doodling maybe, right? I see the circle actually acts like a full circle. So, where is it? Freehand. Okay, cool. Making our little cordiform face here. And I mean, even I see. So that makes like, it's hard to draw in the center. It's almost like you have to draw the center stuff first. And then they have, the pareidolia is real because they have very human-like faces. Look at, there's probably one here hanging out in the center. Look at that creeper. Behind the ear bone. The ear bone's coming out real reflective, right? But this guy in the shadows. Looking up, it looks like. Wow. How are we doing on time today? Look at that. So again, hopefully we're okay. And then see, I think this is the other side, right? So look at what happens here. I suggest this is from, they're eating so much and smashing their face, maybe even trying to get out, that they're leaving these impressions that we can see. And I think you could even see it from the outside. I don't know if these bodies have been patched also. Is that a tail too? Look at that. See that long elongated thing? Yeah. So I suggest this is probably the myth of our Medusa amongst many myths, the mind-born motif, Athena born of Zeus's head, all of these things. Our myths aren't our own. All right. Yeah, so the cattle abductions, if you guys know any research where 2 holes were found, that would be... All right, I think we got the Suye model. I'm trying to discuss... I want to show Suye in a state of predation in the water. So that could be really cool. I may want him to change the eyes, though. I might have to look through some research. Yeah, we're going to add some color. We're going to have a little fun with it. You know how the paleontological speculative art goes. They kind of have a little fun with the colors, and, you know, we don't know what they look like. So here we are with that skull. So remember this, guys, too. Thanks for coming. We're going to give away a Tridactyl Josephina head so you can see, you know, let's hold her face up and, like, you look at these things again. If you, right? Heart-shaped face right there, you know? This is what we're talking about, guys. This is these little faces are what they depict on all the stones of the Taino, and even in rivers of Russia, in the Bella Coola of Canada. As part of the constant companion theory, the theory is our heart from our emojis it doesn't come from some leaf of a plant. And then what would the leaf mean? It has to have some significant meaning for this symbol to last. But it makes me wonder when I look at our playing cards, which is relatively recent invention, I'd say. Why do they seem to have tridactyl imagery? They have this for the hearts. The spades is the decapitated skull, the upside down inverted head that I suggest our letter A comes from. If you've seen my post on good and na, the ox of heaven, a horned being, a horned letter, bringing us our A in relation to an ox. You know, oxes are, they're gelded. It's not a bull. An ox is technically not, it's different. Keep in mind, too, why was I able to find these larvae before the researchers, right? Has any of the other researchers talked about this? I believe I was the first one to point out that fetus in Artemis, which is why I named it myself. Why not, right? Because they didn't know the archaeology. And what happened was the Chinese pig dragons, the Hongshan pig dragons, which I always keep a couple handy for just such an occasion, right? Let's move in on that guy. Whoa, yes, he's got to be like a little zoom on him. There we go. That little bugger. Let's keep it, since it's so nice, let's go ahead and do a quick little review of some of the cool artifacts we got here. Now, these guys could be replicas, or these could be the real thing. This has got some weight to them. So I think I've got 3 proper. This guy's a little lighter, but it's kind of it almost feels like one of those off jade kind of stones. Aren't these fun, huh? So yeah, I made sure I got a few of these pig dragons, partially just, I'm used to being an educator and an educator at the museum. We always had props. So I knew when I was going to be teaching this, I had to have props. And that's ultimately my goal. I was the director of the education department at the Graves Museum of Archaeology and Natural History in Dania Beach. And I believe in the philosophy of education through entertainment, and hopefully we do that. I'm going to go ahead and open my other box of Hongshan pig dragons. I haven't looked in there in a while. I actually have a couple boxes of them, just so you know. So let's see here. Okay. All right. So here's one. Again, real or not, I don't know. But I made sure I picked up this one a long time ago because it shows the what I believe is the forelimb first. No. Nope. These, Carl, I suggest that these are amphibians. So they're going through a metamorphosis. So you're having the larval forms, which look just like eel or minnows, and they're advancing and they're becoming what's known as a water cat. which become our sphinx as well, or our dragon. They're becoming quadrupeds. So they're going through these series of metamorphosis from larval, worm-like serpentine stages to quadruple water cat stages, and then on to, I guess, bipedal as well. Here's another one. I consider this a good example of bet, of using the name like Tibet, like Tibet, alphabet. So I think this is a great example of maybe what a serpentine mother goddess might look like with her bent head. You know, our original letter B is like a triangle or snake kind of looking down. That's what this kind of looks like here. So I haven't shown these in a while. Here's another one that's nice. So you got to wonder if these are replicas because those eyes are so alien on some of these, right? I don't know. I think I might have got lucky. All right, what else we got? Here's a good one. I use this one. You know, the cicadas are part of the mythology, I suggest. And I think it could be because of combination of their behavior. So, right, when there's symbolic animals in human cosmology, it's not about the animals. It's how does the animals remind us of the Tridactyls in either behavior or in look. So these guys, of course, bury themselves underground and merge. And it could also be that they kind of look like a skull. The cicada kind of looks like a Tridactyl skull. So that might be part of it, why this would be of significance. And then the last one today, and I guess I'm going to have to pull out the other box next week, are these crazy turtle dragon things. Look at this. Letter C. It makes a letter C. That could be cool. That could be something like alluding to the child or the third being in a trinity in various belief systems. So how cool is that? Let's see here. That's right. The phenomenon is all one the same. Angels, demons, jinn, fairies. Exactly. They are everything from dwarves to dragons. In fact, there's one myth in the Russian beliefs. So the god being is literally goes from like dwarf to dragon. Gets confusing, right? Because dragons really aren't the Western monsters. They're beings. And maybe they start off as critters like Suye, and then they move on. Wow. So we got to see some great pig dragons tonight. I hope you guys appreciated that. Let's look at this here. Sorry for dropping this, but the film Teenage Mutant Turtles 3, the brothers go back in time to ancient China and are called Kappa when they're seen by the people. I didn't know that. I'm a little fan of the Turtles, you know, not a huge fan. I got the action figures when I was kind of older, just because, I don't know, they were just a new action figure, and the comics were interesting, and I was fan enough that when there was like a live action appearance in like 1988 or 89 at the mall, I went to see them. So I got pictures. And yeah, aren't they very Tridactyl-like? And aren't there lots of turtles in the various myths, right? So also they're the four brothers. So there's myths of the four brothers where was it really four brothers? Does it represent four homogeneous beings spreading out from a central point on the continent? Yeah, this is our folklore in the flesh, right? So that's part of how I was able to get to the, there's the Tridactyl, hyper-realistic, I suggest, Tridactyl in a statue in India. And because I realized that the Indians had dwarves, just like the Norse, and they practiced metallurgy, making the weapons for the gods, which I suggest, did we find the shield of the Gorgon amongst the Tridactyls? Did we find Indra's spear amongst the Tridactyls? Yep. Good shit. Good shit. Thank you for all the comments, because I get what you may not realize is that your comments help spurn thought and help me think of things. Let's see. Oh man, that's dead on. I never thought of that. What part did you not think of here? Let's see. This is our folklore in the flesh, maybe. Yeah, good stuff, though. So the kappa, which, of course, I took that name for this section here, which I named the kappa, right? And I knew it was of importance, but little did I know. Well, I kind of guessed that the pineal gland was going to be there. What is that on my screen exactly? Is that up there? That's up there. Look at that. What's going on? All right, let's go ahead and take a look. So I think we can actually probably see the pineal gland and the parietal third eye, because that's both these reflective points here. All right, so you have your proper. We should go ahead and measure this while we're here, don't you think? I don't usually do that. Where'd it go? Luckily, we know where it is, right? Let's go ahead and measure these for fun. Parietal eye. It switched to pixels. I hate when it does that. That's annoying. I don't even know how to. Is that it here? Yeah. Millimeters. Okay. Oh, geez. I'm fumbling around now. Things are getting wild. Let's get another comment up there. So, Chris, what do you mean by, oh, man, that's dead on? What else can we talk about? Because we do want to give away the skull, and I want to make sure everyone gets their extra number chances today. But I wanted to go up and look at the parietal gland and the pineal eye. Yeah, very cool. I liked it from that other side over here better, didn't you? All right, so yes. So those of you that have been following along, I did nickname this area the kappa, and I suggested that the third eye would be found there. How did I know the third eye would be found there? Because it's in our mythology. You can see depictions on various tribal arts. In fact, that's why I put it on my green t-shirt that you might see out there. I put the third eye on there. So here they are. Now, can I measure again? It's still pixels. Why do you hate me? Why don't you do what you do? I really should do karaoke after this. Maybe if I just like change it and pretend to change it. One of those, you ever do that? Apply. Okay. You got to trick it. Pixels, why are you doing this? Anyway, well, I don't know why it switches like that. It's annoying. I'd rather have millimeters. What do pixels mean? You know? They mean nothing. Well, then let's just put a circle over it for fun. Boom. Parietal pineal eye complex. Found very rare in nature in extinct monitor lizards and lamprey eels. You know, there was an article about lungfish. The lungfish and the lamprey eels are primitive vertebrates, and they're clues to segueing from sea to land. And what have we always been told growing up? We evolved from something that crawled from the sea. We've been told this. That's the something. The representations of the four brothers. Yes. So our mythology might be in us at a subliminal level even, or even just at a surface level, or is it even programmed? So the turtles kind of represent that. They represent the four brothers, I suggest. And could these four brothers be actual genus members of the species, Denisova, Neanderthal, maybe, and going out and Heidelbergensis, and they're spreading out into the world? Did they follow ancient rivers leaving the mega lake Gobi? What people don't realize, Gobi Desert was a fully enclosed lake area. I don't want to say fully enclosed. Let me take that back. But if you notice, there are massive amounts of tributaries, exit points for the water to leave Gobi. I suggest this is where our myths are coming from, not the Middle East. The Middle East is their second coming to the whole story. Any questions, Aaron? Feel free to jump in. I think it's a good time. It's 7:40. You know, the original shows, you know, your hour shows are, we all crawled from primordial soup. Yeah, buddy. You know, all the hour shows are really 44 minutes. I'm doing the time slot of In Search Of. I miss In Search Of with freaking Leonard Nimoy, man. That was one of the best shows ever. And so here we are at 7 o'clock. 13 months on the shell. Yeah, what is that about? And of course, the early turtle shells also may have been causing a pareidolia themselves to look like the beings, like a mother goddess or something. And maybe that's why it was so important, because that's where our early writing's coming from, right? The early Chinese graphemes are there depicting what I suggest are these beings. So let's go to our Tridactyl head list, wherever that may be. Here it is. I'll put this on the screen. I think that's enough Tridactyl hunting for today, and we even got to take another peek at a parietal penile eye, but why not? These are the coolest freaking discoveries ever, and they're coming from here. Constant companion theory. Why? Because I'm an archaeologist. Well, I was. Do I do it now? No, now I'm a xenoanthropologist working on this silliness with you guys. All right, let's get some extra people up there. Chris, you haven't won yet, so Chris is going to need to pick a number. Carl, I don't think you've won yet, right? Carl, you're going to have to pick another number. Oh, yeah, see, I left Sarah highlighted because I realize I have to give her some here. Aaron, if you want to play, you're welcome to choose a number. There's not a lot left, but that also means we're going to start getting some winners more and more. He watched his first day, Bigfoot. Yeah, that was a life changer for me. If it wasn't for that Patterson video of seeing Patty as a child, what was I, 8? And then getting the Time Life books that showed that, hey, there were things like this on the planet. Oh, that'd be fun. It'd be fun to get a replica of that, wouldn't it? Get a 3D replica of a turtle shell with the early writing on it. Woo! Ooh, getting tired, Mr. Ed is here. So let's get some numbers. Yeah, any number that's available. So let's see. We've got, taking it from the top, it looks like we got 28, 30, 31. We got 47, 54, 56, 59, 61, 63, 74. Chris says 94, coming in hot. Chris Duncan. Aaron, 63. And those of you watching, if you haven't got a skull yet, or if your skull came effed up, be sure to remind me. To be honest, I thought I was going to like making these. I don't really like making these. Anything that takes me away from the research, you know, and my research has been a little, you know. Okay. That's right. You got to pick the empty ones there. So who else is that, everybody? I don't know if Mr. Carl Shine is still on. I think Carl would be the only other person here that would need a number. All right. Let's go open our roll 20. Guys, I hope to have, maybe we'll do it. Hey, you know what? We'll do it at this time slot. Maybe we could even play on here. I'm going to have towards the end of the month, we're going to have a little roll 20 Tridactyl Dungeons and Dragons game with me, your DM, coming at you live. Yeah. Okay, where's my roll 20? Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Okay, here's my roll 20. It's just charged me another $10. Everything costs money a month. It's just, ugh. I think I might switch though. This might be my last year for roll 20 because once this campaign's wrapped, I do DM every Sunday. Once that campaign's wrapped, I'm gonna change the rule set to something we're gonna use this week. What is this? We don't need a foreground layer. Josefina giveaway every day. Look at her, isn't she a beauty? Is this what the mother got? Oh, there's Carl. Oh, just in time, Bubba. Let me go back and put your number in. He's like, I hear my name through the internet. Hark. Oh, look at that. You got 90. Look at Carl with the block. 89. Oh, my God. Carl's got a block. Carl's in. All right, this is fun. We want to get everybody involved with the phenomenon. Phenomena. Okay, here we go. We're rolling a D20, a D100. 89. 89. And we look at 8, and it is Carl. Oh! Carl, please send your address. And again, if anyone's watching who I haven't sent ahead yet to, you know, we'll get to you. Edit Tridactyls.com. You can just send or if you see me on the social media, you can send me a line. Look at that, Carl. And that wasn't even the number you picked this week, but it was the other number. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Look at that. He came in. Of course, actually, it doesn't matter even if he didn't, right? If he didn't pick a number, he still would have won, right? Because all right. We have a wiener. Very cool. Another fine Josephina head will be made and sent out. How very cool. What else is happening? Let's see. What am I going to do this week? I don't know. I really have to start. We have to start investigating the American West still. I believe the Black Hills have evidence, and where we have the mittens in the desert, I believe there is evidence on those walls. And there's likely evidence in the cathedrals, too. I don't know if these guys ever gave up power. And so they may have just segued right into power. I mean, even the slave routes along the ocean, those routes were there for a long time. You know, the currents were. And they may have been using these currents to go all the way from New Guinea, all the way down around Africa, up the coast, visiting the various peoples in Northwest Africa, and then even moving on to the New World. Those currents are there. You can do that. So how long have they been doing that? And we know we keep pushing time back. I mean, easily what? Nautical adventures are at 50,000 years ago. They just put back what? Homo sapiens to 1 million. That's just, I mean, that's 5 times longer. So you almost have to like reimagine everything. Anyway, thanks again, you guys, for watching. I hope we don't, keep me on track, if I get a little off kilter, off topic, make sure that we're all on the same page. So you're all junior xenoanthropologists now, because we went on a Tridactyl hunt and we found some, and we took a look at our parietal pineal gland, right? It's there. It's there. Live long and prosper. I will see you in the funny pages. Here's some music.